morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Tuesday, September 10th, 2024. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Here's a look at the daily time frame of the ES. You'll notice right now the ES trading in a narrow range ahead of the RTH Open, 37% of average right now, as this thing just trades in the upper half of the previous session's range. Quite a forceful fade after trend day on Monday, closing beyond the previous Friday midpoint and maintaining those gains mostly into the close. This market is on inflation data watch. Wednesday morning we get CPI and core CPI data. Thursday morning we get PPI and core PPI data. So again, the expectation was the market may go into a bit of a holding pattern here ahead of that data. But again, very forceful start to the week, holding at the highs of the week as of right now. Keep an eye on the previous session's highs here into even 5,500. Any reaction or rejection there, and we could be looking at a rotation back toward the previous session's midpoint of 54.50, and we could be looking at a 50-point range here, range bound, with a short-term upward bias, but still in a downward mode here from the recent highs of the month. If we take a look here at the NQ, similar price action here for the NQ, 39.5% of ADR, trading in the upper half of the previous session's range. Nice fade after trend day here on a Monday following Friday's sell-off and closing beyond Friday's midpoint. That is short-term bullish, but we're still in a downward trend here since the highs of mid-August. Keep an eye on the previous session's high. We're right at it at the moment. Any rejection between 750 and 800, and we could look at a pullback toward 18.5, 18.520, somewhere in that zone. So it could be a 300 point range for the day as the market again continues to build out ahead of major inflation data later this week. Looking at crude oil, this one's down 0.7% right now. Continues to hold at the lows of the recent sell-off. One of the trade ideas heading into today was for bears to defend prices at 69 for a likely rotation back towards 67, a potential low range outside day. After hours yesterday, we already saw the rejection at 69 and a drop. Didn't quite get to 67 just yet, a low of 67.55, but we're in a two-day narrow range with a downward bias and still holding below the 72 support level. That's huge to continue to hold below that level. We could even bounce back towards 72s and still be a selling opportunity for a continuation down. This market could limp its way downward toward 64s up ahead. So that's still the next major support level down. Any pullback or any strength could be seen as a selling opportunity in crude oil until proven otherwise. Looking at gold futures, this one's up about 0.25%. This one is still range bound at the highs, still with an upward bias. And as we started the month here, we mentioned any pullback into the pivot range below could be a buying opportunity for a continuation higher this month toward 2,600. So far that's played out, but at the same time we've pretty much gone sideways around the 2440 level. This is about a good 3+ weeks of sideways price action at these highs, so it's building tremendous energy. And even if we saw a downside push out of this range, it could still be defended for an upside rotation down the way. So sideways to up in gold as it continues to build energy for a larger expansive move. Looking at the YM's about break even right now. Inside day, narrow range, just 31% of ADR. A very forceful fade after trend day on Monday, nearly rolling back all the way to the Friday highs, coming just shy of those Friday highs. Kind of twin bars or evil twin bars here, with one heavy day down, one heavy day back up, and now we are in a narrow range here at these highs. Keep an eye on the highs of the previous two sessions here, any reaction there, and we could be working our way back to two-day midpoints and maybe even lower. Do we pull back within the range, up a day, down a day, as this market continues to build out ahead of inflation data? Right now very compressed, could be a fade the edges at the moment. Fade the edges, fade new highs, fade new lows until proven otherwise. Looking at Bitcoin, big time rally out of Bitcoin the previous session. Huge gap up Sunday night. When we were heading into the RTH Open, we were gapping through the previous midpoint. Mentioned before that MGR buy gaps could be in play for Bitcoin and Bitcoin related stocks and ETFs, and that played out in big fashion. Some of those stocks were up 10+%. The ETFs were buy signals, and these markets rallied into the close. Right now, holding those gains at the moment. Another narrow range, 60% of ADR right now. Again, while this is a nice short-term bounce, we still have overhead heaviness out of this market, and continue to see lower highs, continue to see just an inability to really get going to the upside. So very forceful start to the week, but does this pullback, even if it drives a bit higher to 60K or even 61K, does this pullback lead to another selling opportunity and new lows ahead? Right now, hard to really get behind the strength for too long at the moment, but short term driving higher, and that could lead to another significant lower high opportunity down the road. Looking at ETH, this one also rallied big in the previous session, gapping up and moving higher to the tune of 5+%. Right now, another narrow range, 34% of ADR heading into the RTH Open. Very similar to Bitcoin again, decent little recovery, nice trap in reverse, but this market has been in a heavy downtrending mode since at least May, and even since the strong highs back in March. And this was the lowest closing low of the year. Not the lowest lows of the year, but the lowest closing low of the year. And we remain in a highly bearish trending mode. 2200 continues to be the significant area of support. If we start to break through that level, it opens up 2000 down below. All right, that is it for now. We'll see how this plays out heading into the rest of the session. Good luck, trade well, and I'll see you in the trading room. Take care.